You need to be able to coordinate what achievement actually can look like and does look like. And you need to make progress in that, whatever the goal is. So you can want to feel like a great team all day, every single day. But in all reality, without goals, it is literally impossible to get that feeling.
They think money's the issue. Well, I don't have the money.
Yeah.
Or I don't have the time.
Don't have the time.
When in reality, it's resourcefulness.
Yeah, you're not
You
being
can go
creative.
earn more money. You can be creative. Yeah, exactly.
Conscious couples, business partners, and individuals, welcome to the Conscious Couples podcast, where we share our life, love story, and relationship expertise to help you consistently cultivate the most magnificent relationship possible.
Never again will you feel hopeless and alone in your intimate relationship challenges. We'll help you have the courage to be your authentic self, communicate effectively, and constructively resolve conflict.
Having accumulated thousands of hours coaching, speaking, podcasting, and hosting live events with conscious couples all over the world, Alan and I are here to guide you in all things relationships.
Thank you again for tuning into the one place where it's not about you or me, it's about the we. Just in case you were wondering, this is the top 10 reasons you and your partner need goals. Number 1, without them, you wander around aimlessly. Number 2, without them, you never develop conflict skills. Number 3, without them, you never get clear on what you actually want.
Oh, yes, I said crystallizing your values in the last episode. When you're in that pressure cooker, you have obviously a deadline to some extent. And so with the pressure of the pressure cooker of your goals, you also solidify what's actually important to you. Not what you say, not
Tangible
the story,
examples, love.
not the story that you want to tell yourself, but what is actually important to you. So what I referred to in the last podcast was we have a client who they believed the story that they were telling themselves was that they want a horse farm. Mm-hmm. And that was a story that they were telling to us. When under the pressure and the timeline of now they're headed towards marriage, and now they're thinking about actually like the next steps post-marriage, which would be moving towards that quote-unquote horsey farm. That pressure, that deadline has now crystallized, we actually don't value taking care and maintaining a property. We actually want the horse, but not the farm. And the deeper layer underneath that is probably going to be of the sort of, I value horseback riding, not necessarily the maintenance of taking care of a 2,000-pound creature, right? Mm-hmm. So when you're underneath that pressure of a goal, your values get clarified and crystallized for you. When in reality, if this person never had a goal, they would never come to that conclusion.
Yeah, so the goal makes it so that you have to get more clarity, and therefore you end up with more clarity as a byproduct.
So many people have this assumption that clarity just comes to you. Clarity only comes to you
out of necessity.
Out of necessity and out of action taking, because that actually creates that full feedback loop that most people don't have because they don't have goals.
I said this in the last episode. I have multiple vision boards that I've done throughout the years. And my very first vision board is just a whiteboard with stuff written on it, basically. Mm. I'm more math, numbers oriented. And when I go back and look at those vision boards, it's really fascinating to me because certain things I'm like, I can't believe I ever wanted that. I definitely don't want that anymore. Mm-hmm. Certain things I actually did. It's like check, done. And some of them I'm still going for. Mm-hmm. And then some of them I have to increase as well. But I think that the point here is when you set a goal based on what you think you want, then you ironically find out what you really want.
Yeah.
Yeah, fire.
Because most people don't actually know themselves to the degree that they think they do. Yeah. And that's that loop that creates the self-awareness.
I'm 36. I thought I knew myself at 26. Mm-hmm. But I look back, Facebook memory of the day, I did one earlier from 13 years ago when I was driving to LA. I was in the Rockies. 13 years ago, I was in the Rockies on this day.
Fun.
And I saw the photo, and it's insane. So I was 23 years old.
Oh, baby.
And I did know myself.
To the extent that you could?
Compared to most 23-year-olds.
Because you had goals.
because I had goals, but not nearly to the extent that I do now. So it's an amazing compound effect that happens. All right. Number 4, without them, you can't be a great team. So again, imagine a team sport where there's a common goal to win the game with borders, with referees, with goals, or a basket, depending on the sport, a net, whatever, versus just run in the woods. I can't even. My brain breaks. This is brutal for me.
Yeah.
All right. The top 10 reasons you and your partner need goals. Without them, you wander around aimlessly. Without them, you never develop conflict skills. Without them, you never get clear on what you actually want. Without them, you can't be a great team. So everyone wants to feel like they're a great team with their intimate partner. But how do you feel like a great team when you don't have the necessity?
Yeah.
Basically, without goals, you have no necessity for anything. That's what's happening.
And in our last episode, 186, I talked about how goal coordination versus goal achievement, there's a big difference. What you're just referring to is most people want to feel like a great team. Like, you don't want to be the couple at the party or at the wedding or at the barbecue or whatever that like is the obvious known couple that's like, oh, they're always fighting. Like, they never get along. You don't want to be that couple. You want to be that couple that's known for they always achieve what they're after. They're such a great support team. Oh, he's a great father. Oh, she's an amazing mom. I don't know how they do what they do. You want to be that couple that everyone talks about. But the truth is...
Do you believe you can without goals?
No.
Same.
And I was just going to say that. The truth is you can't be. Because, again, what it requires for goal coordination, that is what you're asking for. You want to feel like a great couple, but you're literally incapable of getting and delivering that feeling to one another if you're not developing the underpinning skill sets of goal coordination and goal achievement, which is both process-oriented and progress-oriented. AKA, you need to be able to coordinate what achievement actually can look like and does look like. And you need to make progress in that, whatever the goal is. So you can want to feel like a great team all day, every single day. But in all reality, without goals, it is literally impossible to get that feeling. How do you have it be real?
How do you feel like you're on the same page with your partner if you don't have mutual goals?
If you're not writing even the same book.
Yeah.
To use that metaphor. You can't. That's why it's so important.
Yeah, if you can't tell, Emilia and I are challenged right now. And again, I'm sorry I interrupted you earlier.
It's okay, Lovey. We're both having the same goal, but trying to achieve it is brutal because you and I have never
not had goals.
Unpacked this. So it's inverting our brain to just try to communicate this.
Yeah. Okay, tangible examples are hard with this.
I mean, I'm even thinking about like a couple who is going to a wedding. Like right now is wedding season for a lot of couples. Now let's think about the couple that's getting married. Them actually trying to coordinate. You and I have been behind the scenes with couples that are trying to get married and the logistics, and you and I pulling out of both the male and the female of like what is left to do. And the finances, like even just that coordination, there's disconnects between so many couples.
Yeah.
And unless they've communicated what the goal is of the day, not just to get married, but what that should look like, what that should feel like.
Yeah, what's the target?
They can't.
Emilia and I have already talked about, and again, we'll keep a lot of this anonymous because I'm a hopeless romantic. I love it. But ultimately, you and I have already talked about size of wedding, who we do or don't want there, where, nature.
Yep.
How could you... It's almost like it's breaking my brain because I've never not been goal-oriented.
I know.
But I didn't know how...
That's your default.
Yeah, that's my default. Even like when I was a kid, it was always...
Yeah. Before you go anything, you and I both unconsciously will state and then go and do it, which is the prove, and then we self-assign. That loop, state, prove, self-assign, which is the self-belief formula. Is what you and I do all the time. Most people don't state what they're going to do, and they certainly won't do it with other people. Most people don't try to go prove to themselves whatever it is that they want to do out of fear that they're going to fail or out of the fear that they're not good enough for that. And so they never self-assign it. They never get the benefit of self-belief from the goals that they try, right? Even in the smallest layer. Let's try to accomplish this in 35 minutes. And like just trying and stating that goal together, we're doing it right now, and how we self-assign how well we did is a byproduct of our goal coordination.
All right, I'm going to jump in here real quick and share something. Some people are goal driven and some people are experience driven. which one are you and which one is your partner? Side tangent here. It's very clear we're both goal-driven, and the experience is a byproduct of the goal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Other people, the goal is a byproduct of the experience, meaning they want to have a great wedding, and that's the experience they want.
Yeah.
What I think is that the goal determines the experience.
I'm right there with you. It's never made sense to us. People want to vision board out their wedding for every single day of their life, but never actually want to talk about what goals they need to achieve in order to get there.
Yeah, the experience is a byproduct of the goal.
A lot of people have that wrong, though, in their
agreed.
mind. And then they get so upset when the experience doesn't actually match what their expectations are, and they get so let down, but they don't actually point their fingers to them actually having the syntax off.
Yeah, so far the very obvious answer here is if you don't have goals, that is a huge L.
Well, that is your default is experience.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
You are motivated by experience, which means you're emotionally motivated.
Agreed. My point is, anyone out there listening who doesn't have goals, fix that now. Like that's
I hope that comes through.
I
for
hope
sure.
that comes through. Like work on that immediately. And if you need help, we got you.
We got you. This is
short,
what we do in our
mid-range, long-range goals, very important.
You can literally even start in
I said this
5
on
minutes.
a podcast not long ago. Someone was like, well, why haven't you put a ring on it yet? And I said, brother, we've talked about it. We're good. He's like, what do you mean? I said, we have the next 60 years planned. And he's like,
people can't
his
fathom
brain broke. And I'm like, brother, we're good. We've already talked about it. We have a roadmap. Apparently we're very unique in that.
Yeah, we're very weird in that. And that's the thing, like you need to start small. Like literally, I mean, like I'm going to do 5 jumping jacks right now. That's how small. If you don't have goals, I encourage people to start. Okay, go do that. Boom, you just completed the state prove self assign. That was a goal. You stated I'm going to do 5 jumping jacks. You just proved it to yourself that you can do that. Boom, now you can tap yourself on the back and then go up the freaking ante.
Yeah, and then it's 10, and then it's 15, and then it's 25,
yeah.
and then it's cartwheels. I'm kidding. All right.
What's going on? This is Branden and Hannah. We wanted to give a shout out to Alan and Emilia and their relationship talks. And going into relationship talks, I was under the impression that, my relationship didn't have any conflict or didn't have any problems. It actually was that way, but I knew I wanted a relationship that resembled Alan and Emilia, and that's a relationship that is just next level and different from other relationships. So seeking out their help has really brought me and Hannah together, and it's just been really, really incredible, and I can't thank them enough.
Yeah, Alan and Emilia have both helped us in recognizing and acknowledging each other's really important core values and given us insight and guidance on how to align those together so that we know we're growing together and never apart. The goal is always to kind of be in everything together as a team.
Alan and Emilia, we love you and thank you so much for everything you do.
Thank you.
We're going to keep cranking here. So number 5 is without them, you don't build wealth. That one's obvious. So if you don't have any financial goals, why would you invest?
I know. It's not obvious to people, love.
Why would you invest? You just wouldn't invest. Yeah, okay.
Go deeper in that.
I figured out why Kev disagrees. I used to say, when you're working and earning money, you spend less money. And he's like, no.
Yeah, most people.
He said, when people, he literally said this. He said, Alan, people usually earn more money. No, hold on. He said, people usually earn more money so they can spend more.
Correct.
And I was like, that's not the point of earning more.
No, but for a lot of people that is, because they've never been taught a wealth mindset. They've never been taught an investor's mindset.
All right, investor's mindset, quick. Earn more, spend less, invest the difference. That's the formula.
Pretty much.
No, not pretty much. That is the whole formula.
I say pretty much because of the fact that the way in which people are going to interpret that. Like, that is...
We could do a whole... And again, there's nuances of where to invest, in what amounts, what percentage, what assets. But that is the formula. Earn more, spend less, invest the difference.
Correct.
That's the formula. So,
yeah.
Okay, we're going to keep cranking here. So we got the next 6 through 10. I'm going to crank down them fast.
Crank.
Number 6, without them, you never learn how to use your time more effectively. So productivity, time management. I did a podcast earlier today on time management. I was on a show with a man from Nigeria. He's now in London. But he interviewed me about time management. It was awesome.
Love it.
You have 168 hours in a week. If you sleep an average of 8, you have 112 hours waking hours left. So 8 times 7 is 56. 168 minus 56 is 112. So everyone out there, if you sleep 8 hours, have 112 waking hours. What are you doing with each hour?
It's precious.
And if you don't have any goals, how do you know where to put the hours?
I was just on a coaching call with a client who I'm so proud of. His executive functioning is something that we've been focusing in on. And one of the skills within that is time management, because this client had very much time blindness. So time would just totally slip away. And so many people are struggling with that now more than they ever have. I digress, but I say this because of the fact that they've gotten into a system of actually using their calendar, putting what they think it's going to take for them to do a task or a project or whatever. And then they're in the habit of actually updating their calendar per what it is that they actually spent or invested the time in, which has created this feedback loop to actually help them prioritize their time more effectively. And that's what I had celebrated in this coaching call, because that past version of them, they would have no idea how to prioritize, because they literally didn't even have the data points of how much time it would actually take them. And then the kind of overestimation or underestimation that they would have on what it would take them to do certain things.
It's called budget to actuals.
Yep.
So imagine you think something's going to take 2 hours, it only takes 1 hour. Now you're off by that percentage.
But most people actually wildly underestimate how much time it's actually going to take them. And so why I mention that is because when you have goals, you actually have to have that locked in so much. And time optimization is absolutely everything.
Which speaking of, we have 3
and
more
kings
minutes.
of. So let's get it.
We have 3 minutes left. All right. So number 7, without them, you don't learn how to use your capital more effectively. So you've been waiting for a really long time for a new micro journal called The Remarkable. Is it called a micro? I don't know what it's called.
It's called The Remarkable Move.
Okay, and it's
also
a
like
mini
a
version.
mini version. So cute.
So Emilia's super excited.
Obsessed.
Well, how is that, and go quick please, but how is that going to contribute to your goals? Your brain just went, how is it not?
Yeah, literally every single day I use this tool to help optimize how I use my time towards my goals. Nice. And therefore it is an obvious investment of my capital.
Right. All right. So this, let's just be honest, this was $500 and something, $534, something like that? $548. Okay. $548 is going to go into Emilia's life so that she can use her time, effort, and money more effectively forever. She messaged me earlier. She said, what do you think about this purchase? And I said, how often are you going to use it? And you said every day.
Multiple times a day.
Multiple times a day. I said, yeah, it's an obvious choice. Now, her other Remarkable, I'm actually going to get. So it's a win-win-win-win-win. So awesome. Yeah. All right, number 8, without them, you don't learn how to become more resourceful. So people think resources are the issue. They think time, effort, and money are the issue. Let me rephrase. They think money's the issue. Well, I don't have the money.
Yeah.
Or I don't have the time. When in reality, it's resourcefulness.
Yeah, you're not
You
being
can go
creative.
earn more money. You can be creative. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else you want to add on that?
Being resourceful is a wildly under-leveraged skill. People will look at us and look at who we've become, and you and I are some of the most resourceful people I've ever seen. Meaning we make every single dollar count. There's a book called Stretch that you've recommended so many people read that allows you to literally stretch every single dollar, every single unit of time, every single ounce of energy. And that's what we do extremely well. And so resourcefulness and developing a skill of resourcefulness, mindset of resourcefulness will always pay dividends.
And the idea here is if you don't have a goal, why would you become resourceful?
You don't have any necessity to.
There's no reason. And when we say necessity, we mean there's no reason to become more resourceful.
Right.
If you want to...
Critical thinking.
If you want to buy a new home, you immediately have to become resourceful.
Yeah.
I have a client who is going to start buying and flipping homes. Well, now he has to become more resourceful. He's going to do plowing on the side, and he's going to do this. He's going to save money here. So
most people either cop out or cop up, meaning they actually try to go be more resourceful, or they shirk from their responsibilities. Someone who goes and cops up, essentially, they're developing a skill set that allows them to become more with their goals.
100%. So number 9, without them, you have just a job, not a career or a calling. We're going to crank through these last 2. So a job is something that you go to, you
Clock in,
you clock out, you make a certain amount of money, but you're not building a resume, you're not building a cover letter, you're not building a LinkedIn, you're not building a career that has a brand and a personal brand. And a calling is something that you stand for. It's meaningful beyond that. So goals give you meaning, and without them, you're not going to find your calling, basically. At number 10, you're not able to give back and inspire others. I think this is the most important one.
I agree.
Right now, Emilia and I have goals to grow this podcast. We would not have done this episode at all and contributed to all of your lives if we didn't have that goal.
Yeah.
And if you want to be a leader and everyone wants to be healthy, wealthy, and in love, but no one wants to set the goals necessary to do it. And the last piece I'll say here is, if you don't have goals, if nothing else, and again, I know this is a lot, if nothing else, change it now. Maybe you're someone who has never had clear written goals before this. Only 3% of people, based on my latest research, have clear written goals according to ChatGPT. The only way to rectify that is to start setting goals now. Maybe you set a goal for this week. Maybe you set a goal for this month. Maybe you set a goal for this year. New Year's resolutions, only 1 in 10. Last time I did the research, only 1 in 10 people achieve their New Year's resolutions. So start small, build. But this is, we're going to wrap up. This is the top 10 reasons why you and your partner need goals. And if you and your partner don't have goals, reach out. We've got you.
Here's a goal. Come to the next 3 relationship talks virtual events. The next one, we'll put the link in the show notes to register, but the next one's going to be on the 17th of September. This is going to be the 5 love languages that no one ever talks about, i.e. get the cheat codes without cheating. And if you set the goal for the next 3, you're going to get 3 golden nuggets of things that no one ever talks about, that we have literally combined thousands of bits of data just into one little package for you to take away. So join us at that next Relationship Talks event, and hopefully the next 3. Babe?
Relationship Talks coaching is all about achieving your goals together as a couple and as individuals. If nothing else, just the first one's free. We're going to set some goals together. And again, your future will be bigger, better, and brighter. It's not going to be, this is what I'll end with. You will not have a bigger, better, brighter future just by default.
Facts.
The future gets better by design and by goals and by intentionality and by persistent and work ethic and intensity and all of this. So reach out. The link will be in the show notes. You can reach out to Emilia, myself, Instagram, all the different stuff will be in there. And as always, it's not about you or me. It's about the we. We'll talk to you next time.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for joining us for another episode of the Conscious Couples podcast. We love connecting with the Conscious Couples community, so please check the show notes to connect with us and say hello on social media.
If you and your partner resonated with this episode, please leave us a 5-star review at the link in the show notes and share this with someone you love. Until next time, it's not about you or me, it's about the we. We'll talk to you next time.